Hi Roland, I wanted to take a look at your existing site here and show you the before and after of what I had in mind. Now we can bring this out full, and what I'll have to do is I do have to reconstruct the page a little bit because the page itself is set to a maximum width of 960 pixels. So basically I'll take the header, I'll reorganize that, I'll take the body, reorganize that, then I'll put the new code for the slider in between the two so that it will allow that to expand out full screen. That's why it's going to take a couple of hours to do, because it's not just the slider itself, it's the page that it goes into. It's only designed to have a maximum width of 960. Anyways, long story short, so here's your existing. What I plan on doing is taking these bars right here, the top bar and the image, and we're going to expand that right out to the edge of the screen. Okay, and then we'll keep the shadows and stuff. And here's what I've come up with, and I'm going to send you a link to this here. So we'll just get rid of the top, so that'll be the top of your page right there. So the bar is going to go right out to the edges of the screen. Now the image we can set to whatever height you prefer, and it really depends. We can do this on a page by page basis, so you can have 6, 10 different pages, each with its own slider. That is something that can be set up, not a problem. And you can also change the height of the slider for each page. Now the pictures will be all the same. Right now I have it set to 600. And that's because that's actually a fairly good height for full screen slider, so that way as the page resizes, you still have a good view, but you can have it on large full screen monitors like 1920 by 1080, and you can zoom on down to like 1024 by 768. So just based on what I've worked with, anywhere between 600 and 700 pixels is a pretty good height. And what happens is when the user views the site in their browser at that height, pretty much what will happen is the slider will come down to just about here, okay, and the news will be just about here, right where I don't know if you can see where my mouse is, but right down here near the bottom of the page on most browsers, you'll get the news, but the slider will take up a good portion, giving them a full image. So that is what I had in mind, and I thought, because I know you wanted to see a screenshot of sort of what I was thinking about. That is sort of what I think would be the best there. So key points is you can have different sliders for different pages showing different images. So you could have one page showing Cape Breton, you could have another page showing Halifax, you could have another page showing whatever you want. That is definitely something that can be set up. That's point number one. Number two, with each page we can actually set it up if you want, so that you could have different heights for the pictures. Probably best to have them all the same height so it's consistent, and I've chosen 600. You can go taller or you can go narrower. It really depends on what the content of the image is. Some pictures don't look good if they're too much, if the top and the bottom, too much is cut off, right? So there's that as well. And I've retained the shadows, as you can see, but the shadows can easily be removed. We can sort of remove the shadow and have it flat like that, or we could add the shadows back in as an example like this here, like the original. So totally up to you as well. So it's very flexible when we get this in there. Just a matter of the actual work is going to be in the HTML of the page itself. I have to reconstruct that so it allows for a full screen slider.